I gotta share this bone-chilling story that happened to me and my buds at our old high school. Strap in, 'cause it's gonna make your skin crawl. Now, don't mind my crappy vocabulary and grammar, I ain't no fancy writer, but this tale deserves to be heard. So, it was one gloomy Friday night, and we were itching for a thrill. School was locked up tight, but that didn't stop us from sneaking in. We thought it'd be wicked cool to explore the halls where we once suffered through boring lectures and awkward dances. We gathered at the entrance, flashlights in hand, nerves tingling. The place had a creepy vibe, you know. Like it was alive with secrets and regrets. Dusty lockers lined the hallways, the smell of old textbooks lingered in the air, and memories we'd long forgotten seemed to whisper through the empty corridors. As we split up, each taking a different wing of the school, I could feel my heart pounding in my chest. The silence was deafening, broken only by the distant drip-drip of leaky pipes. My flashlight trembled as I crept through the shadows, trying not to let fear take hold. Hours passed, and the adrenaline was starting to fade. That's when we realized something was terribly wrong. Two of our friends, Lisa and Mark, were nowhere to be found. Panic surged through us like an electric shock, and we called out their names, our voices echoing through the emptiness. But there was no response, just an eerie silence that sent shivers down my spine. We searched every nook and cranny, opening every door we could find. Nothing. It was as if Lisa and Mark had vanished into thin air. Fear gnawed at us, making our hands shake and our breath hitch. We gathered in the school's main hall, our minds racing with questions and dread. Was this some sick joke? Or had something truly sinister befallen our friends? That's when we heard it, a soft, chilling whisper. It floated through the hall, words twisted and distorted, like a ghostly cry for help. We followed the sound, our hearts pounding like war drums. It led us to the basement, a place rumored to be haunted, but we had no other choice. The air grew colder as we descended into the depths, our flashlights casting shaky beams into the darkness. Shadows danced on the walls, taking on grotesque shapes that played tricks on our minds. I could swear I heard whispers, the faint sound of scratching against the walls. Then, we saw it. A flickering light emanated from an open door, and a dim figure stood in the doorway. It was Lisa, her eyes wide with terror, but something was wrong. Her voice was distant, disjointed, as if it belonged to someone else. We approached cautiously, fear clawing at our insides. But as we got closer, Lisa's body convulsed, her limbs contorting in unnatural ways. The air thickened with a malevolent presence, and we realized we were in the presence of something truly evil. Before our eyes, Lisa was consumed by darkness, swallowed whole by an unseen force. It happened so fast, I barely had time to comprehend what I had witnessed. And just like that, she was gone, leaving us trembling in the darkness. We fled the basement, tears streaming down our faces, our souls scarred by the horrors we had witnessed. We called the police, but they found no trace of Lisa or Mark. They were gone, vanished without a trace, just like that nightmarish night at Old Mayfield High. My clumsy retelling of the most terrifying experience of my life. I may not have the words to do justice to the terror we endured, but trust me, it's a story that still haunts my nightmares. Don't mess with the unknown, folks, 'cause sometimes, the darkness has a way of swallowing you whole. Story 2. Alright, folks, listen up, 'cause I've got a bone-chilling story to share with you. Picture this, me and my two buddies, alone in our high school, one cold and moonless night. It's the kind of tale that'll make you think twice about staying after hours in a place you thought you knew. So, get ready to be gripped by fear as I recount the harrowing events we endured. We entered the school with a mix of excitement and trepidation. The hallway was dimly lit, the flickering fluorescent lights casting long, sinister shadows that seemed to stretch out toward us. The silence was eerie, broken only by the soft echo of our footsteps on the polished linoleum floor. We decided to explore one of the classrooms. As we entered, a sense of foreboding washed over us, like a heavy fog settling in our minds. The air felt stagnant, almost suffocating. Dust particles danced in the dim beam of our flashlights, giving the room an ethereal, ghostly quality. Our gazes scanned the surroundings, taking in the abandoned desks, covered in a thick layer of dust and debris. The silence weighed on us, amplifying the sound of our own breathing. I couldn't shake the feeling that unseen eyes were watching our every move. But then, things took a sinister turn. Shadows seemed to writhe and contort along the walls, twisting and warping like creatures from a nightmare. My heart raced, and a cold sweat trickled down my back. Panic clawed at my insides as I realized we were not alone in that classroom. The whispers began, soft and barely audible, like the hiss of a distant wind. They slithered through the air, infecting our minds with an unfathomable dread. It felt as though a presence, something malevolent, was toying with us, taunting us from the dark corners of the room. As we tried to escape, the door slammed shut with a resounding thud, sealing our fate. Fear gripped us, squeezing our hearts like a vice. Our flashlights flickered, casting distorted shadows that danced mockingly around us. Panic-stricken, we searched for an exit, desperate to break free from the clutches of the school's sinister grip. The wall seemed to close in around us, the very air growing heavy with an oppressive force. We could hear our own racing heartbeats, pounding in our ears, drowning out rational thought. It was as if the school itself had come alive, a malevolent entity determined to keep us trapped within its dark embrace. With trembling hands and sweat-soaked brows, we stumbled through the labyrinthine hallways, our minds clouded by terror. The once familiar corridors became a maze of confusion and despair. Time seemed to stretch and distort, each minute feeling like an eternity. But against all odds, we found a glimmer of hope, a cracked window in a forgotten corner of the school. With renewed determination, we fought against the grip of fear, clawing our way toward the sliver of freedom. Glass shattered and adrenaline surged as we leaped through the window, our bodies bruised but our spirits unbroken. We collapsed on the dew-covered grass outside, gasping for air and relief. We had escaped the clutches of that malevolent high school, but its haunting memory would forever linger in our nightmares. So, there you have it, my friends, a tale of terror and survival, of a night when our high school became a labyrinth of fear. Remember, sometimes the places we think we know can hold unimaginable darkness, lurking just beyond the surface. Stay vigilant, stay safe, and never underestimate the chilling depths of the unknown.